Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 392 based on novel. So let's start. The 9 large heads of eternal true God, be they hideous, ice-cold, roaring, menacing or growling. Every single pair of eyes was looking up at the surrounding void space in all random directions. Whatever the eyes rested on, time and space in the universe would be completely frozen. Even the power of a universe supreme master was unable to cause the frozen space to break apart. Eternal true God walked about the void space. Every step he took made the entire void space tremble with loud bangs. The sound made by 108 pairs of clawed hoofs trampling on void space was entirely synchronized. There was total silence. Not a single universe supreme master made a move. Even Huge Axe Creator, who was holding his godly axe, was waiting silently. 6th True Master transmitted his voice over to 3rd True Master. Huge Axe is merely a kid from the 3rd reincarnation era. His stint as a Universe Supreme Master is still quite short. If the two of us join hands, we are bound to annihilate him. 3rd True Master jested as he watched on. He doesn't even have a single Supreme True Treasure. It is certainly quite possible to annihilate him within one strike. In all of history, the times when Universe Supreme Masters who had faced annihilation because of fighting and killing were extremely few. Yet 3rd True Master and 6th True Master saw the possibility of killing Huge Axe. Eternal God Master had such a large godly body that it might seem as though he was trampling on the void space slowly. In actuality, his speed had already exceeded 100 times the speed of light, and the universe laws no longer had any influence over him. Very quickly, and most majestically, he appeared before Huge Axe Creator. YA. With a piercing yelp that could impact a soul, Eternal True God erupted instantly, baring its sharp fangs and hooking its clawed hooves. It charged at Huge Axe Creator recklessly, claws digging into the earth. Wherever he passed, the frozen space would immediately crack and break apart, threatening to charge over to envelop Huge Axe Creator. Following a crisp bang, Huge Axe Creator was sent flying backward with both hands still holding his godly axe. You are able to ward off my attacks. You must have some skill after all. From afar, that hazy and light-radiating shadow of 3rd True Master watched and smiled. Then he commented, but luck only comes this once. The next time, you shall. Truly worthy to be a member of the Divine Eye clan. Huge Axe Creator finally came to a halt, sent flying quite a distance away. Under his messy hair was a pair of eyes filled with battle rage. He laughed out loud and said, "Formidable. This beast true God has such a strong soul attack. I decided not to consult any background information this once, so I have given this beast true God a chance to gain the upper hand. However, being at the winning position, just this once." His voice so coarse yet straightforward, and it shocked everyone. 3rd True Master and 6th True Master are going to join forces, and he is not intimidated, said sitting mountain guest in shock, watching the battle from afar. Luophone relaxed a little, though. If he could make such remarks, it seemed that Huge Axe Creator was not in danger. However, 3rd True Master and 6th True Master were furious. What arrogance! 6th True Master shouted furiously. So, starting from now, you are going to suppress us? The shadow figure that was emitting hazy light let out a cold laugh. I, Star True Master, have roamed the length of Universe Ocean. Those who dared to show me such insolence were few. Furthermore, 6th True Master and I are joining forces against you. You actually say you want to suppress us both. Ha ha. A joke? What a joke. Eternal True God's 9 heads let out angry roars of their own, and once again charged toward Huge Axe Creator to surround him. For afar, the wild giant with his messy hair let out a loud, rumbling roar. 12th. The godly axe was raised. Suddenly, in the space surrounding the wild giant, many huge axe shadows emerged. Every one of them was as wide as 1 trillion kilometers, as though they were as big as a world. There was a total of 12 huge axe shadows, dispersed in all directions, and beneath these 12 shadows, every spot that had been suppressed started to break open with loud cracking sounds. At that moment, the 12 huge axe shadows each spanned 1 trillion kilometers. In the vast space above, Huge Axe Creator, who was standing with his godly axe raised, seemed as though he was the core of the universe. And with a wave of his right arm, he made a powerful slash at the space before him. Godly axe was wielded. At that moment, 12 huge axe shadows speedily gathered and fused with the godly axe, which in turn emitted an immeasurably dazzling black ray. Eternal True God's clawed hoofs trampled forward, too. The entire space trembled. Huge Axe Creator took a step back to regain stability, but Eternal True Master's 108 pairs of clawed hoofs retreated with 3 continuous steps. Total silence. Even brilliant Gold Devil God and Sitting Mountain Guest were shocked. Third True Master and Sixth True Master were in total disbelief. Your godly axe is a supreme true treasure. A supreme true treasure. Sixth True Master suddenly let out a furious roar. You actually have a supreme true treasure. Huge Axe Creator stood in space with his hair in disarray, yet his face harbored a look of absolute dominance. Just got it not too long ago, he said. You are the guinea pigs for my new axe. Your eternal true God may be formidable, but compared to my axe, it has a long way to go. Instead, that hazy shadow of Third True Master said slowly, you have your supreme true treasure, but by right you should not be able to suppress Eternal True God. Eternal True God is the combined power of Sixth True Masters and mine. It was created according to the combined power of 2 supreme true treasures, added to the comprehension of ancient inheritance to finally create this technique. How could you possibly gain the upper hand? The accomplishment of your axe is impressive. Impressive. You are a worthy opponent for Sixth True Master and I to put in our best. Your best? Oh, you mean that was not your full force, said Huge Axe Creator. Come on. I have yet to show my full power, too. Huge Axe Creator laughed, and his laughter shook the entire void space. Jade Eyes, Third True Master commanded. Release. All right, we shall let this huge axe have a taste of our power, said Sixth True Master. Sixth True Master was in a total rage. This was now a battle of pride. If their combined power still failed to suppress a single Huge Axe Creator, and they were still trampled by him, they would be considered nothing but a great joke. At that moment, that gigantic Eternal True God started to emit hazy, jade-green rays. Countless jade rays started to gather into diagrams of secret engravings. The entirety of Eternal True God started to transform, and 2 streams of purple light emerged to speedily fly into Eternal True God's body. Eternal True God was transforming rapidly. Luophone was watching from afar. When he saw the 2 streams of purple light emerging, he was momentarily shocked. It's Star Hand. Third True Master was also known as Star True Master. He had 2 supreme true treasures. One was Star Kingdom, the other was Star Hand. Of course, what the original names of these 2 supreme true treasures were, the outside world did not know. Star Kingdom and Star Hand were what Third True Master called them, so they were spread out to the masses as such. Third True Master's 2 supreme true treasures and Sixth True Master's supreme true treasures are all being used, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Seems like they are really going all out. Sitting Mountain Guest put his wine glass down. Now the battle had his undivided attention. Star True Master grew another pair of hind-clawed hooves that were extremely thick and huge. It could stand upright all by itself. The originally dense, numerous clawed hooves fused and gathered to transform into only 18 sharp claws. The 9 heads now had a pair of sharp claws each, as though there was a combined body of 9 great fierce gods. 9 heads of Eternal True God let out crazy roars. Their 18 arms were unbelievably sharp and wore a layer of purple armor. 3 great supreme true treasures. With us both joining forces along with the combination of our secret techniques, I don't believe you cannot be subdued. Third True Master's voice was icy cold. Far away, Huge Axe Creator saw Eternal True Masters was getting more intimidating as time passed. All he shouted was, 13th. Then he raised his godly axe. In the endless space, a 13th huge axe appeared. Every huge axe shadow was like a world of its own, but this one was so massive that it could reach out to where Third True Master, Sixth True Master, and Sitting Mountain Guest were. But this shadow seemed to be in another dimension. With a wave, the godly axe made a move and hacked. In the face of the purple fists, claws, and palms bombarding him. Huge Axe Creator welcomed them all. An instantaneous exchange of blows got Huge Axe Creator to make a hasty retreat. Eternal True God was apparently gaining the upper hand. This made Third True Master and Sixth True Master ease up instantly. Impressive. Now take a look at my 14th Huge Axe. Huge Axe Creator raised his godly axe right away. What, there is a 14th? How is that possible? Third True Master and Sixth True Master were a little caught by surprise. When the 14th huge axe shadow appeared, it was as though a puzzle was being put together. The pieces came together, as though covering space, causing the endless space to fall into pitch darkness. No light at all. It was pitch black. Following closely, a loud bang was heard. Then everything in space resumed normalcy. At that moment, Eternal True God was tossing and turning backward into the distance. Huge Axe Creator, with his hair as messy as ever, said in his deafening voice, "My 14th axe cannot even destroy Eternal True God. My 15th axe has just been created. Let Eternal True God try to take it on then." Huge Axe Creator's command sounded, "15th." The endless space darkened again, but within the next instant, amidst the endless darkness, a huge axe shadow glowing with light rays appeared. The strange thing was, this huge axe shadow made every great being present, even the weakest one, Luophone, feel as though they were in another world. He had made it there. Sitting Mountain Guest jumped up from where he was seated on his green mountain peak. His eyes were filled with shock. Teacher Origin, huge axe. Human. The potential of the human race is truly. Even Luophone was shaken to the core. The huge axe shadow that was glowing in that endless darkness was so magical. It was as though they were all in another world. Luophone was deeply shaken by this strange feeling. He even felt that this huge axe might be able to exterminate an entire universe. Of course, Luophone was aware that this was only a misconception, that this misplaced feeling was simply overpowering. He, brilliant Gold Devil God, was too shocked to react as well. Soundlessly. With one axe. Everything resumed normalcy in that endless space, but Eternal True God was completely shattered and collapsed apart, thereafter transforming into countless stars, 2 streams of jade-green light, and a pair of purple arm guards. He actually separated the 3 supreme treasures, said 6th True Master, stunned beyond reaction. Being able to dismantle Eternal True God. Huge axe. Could it be that huge axe was also a teacher Origin? 3rd True Master speculated with shudders in his heart. He had exchanged blows with teacher Origin before, and back then, he was utterly defeated and fled in fear. Before teacher Origin, there was a feeling of powerlessness. At this moment, the same feeling was creeping up on him. Back then, when teacher Origin was eternally suppressed by the primal universe, many Universe Supreme Masters had secretly rejoiced. The other Universe Supreme Masters had all fallen into a state of great shock. Everyone was going through complex emotions, with many thoughts rising in their minds. Only Luophone, who, although he was equally shocked and emotional, said to himself, "I have never seen Huge Axe Creator in action. I did not expect Huge Axe Creator to be so powerful. This is a great blessing for the human race. I have always lacked a suitable supreme true treasure, always lacking one." Huge Axe Creator stood amidst the void space, grasping his godly axe as he looked into the distance. "As I don't have a supreme true treasure with me, I have always maintained a low profile, worried that if I stood out too much because of my outstanding ability, I would bring disaster to my human race. Teacher Origin bestowed me with great kindness and chose eternal suppression in the hope that I would lead our human race well. 3rd True Master, 6th True Master, do the both of you know what angers me the most?" Huge Axe Creator's eyes were ablaze as 2 rays of light, which seemed to materialize into blades, slashed across the length of the sky. With an angry roar, he voiced his rage. "The answer is, you wanting to destroy my human race. Destroy the race. Exterminate all," he shouted. "Just you, Divine Eye Clan, so arrogant that you think you can destroy my human race. When teacher Origin was around, did you all dare make a single utterance? Today, I shall let you all know the consequence of trying to destroy my human race." Huge Axe Creator's voice bellowed. His hand was already grasping his godly axe. With a roar, he shouted, "The 15th. 3rd True Master and 6th True Master were angry yet shocked. They could not be bothered with anything else. Right away, they took off, escaping for dear life. "Leave quickly. Go." But with one strike of his axe, vast darkness befell, as though there was a huge axe shadow glowing with a dazzling light within the void space. Then the shadow merged with the godly axe, and soundlessly, it slashed at 3rd True Master and 6th True Master. Numerous stars clustered in the way were sent scattered all over the place. "Hurry! The stars! Stop him quickly!" 6th True Master was panicking and flustered. 3rd True Master, on the other hand, shouted angrily, "His attacks can dissemble Eternal True God, which is a combination of 3 supreme true treasures. How can my domain-type supreme true treasure alone be enough to entrap him?" It will not even be enough to slow him down. Quick! We should quickly escape for now. Discussion later. There is no escape for you. A huge axe came flying through the air at high speed. It was hot on their heels. Its speed was continuously soaring, from 1,000 times the of light speed to 10,000 times of light speed. The rate at which its speed was soaring was extremely fast, and the shadow that was encircling the flying axe indulged itself in sweeping up everything in its way, causing the numerous stars that had become meteors upon being attacked to be smashed and scattered instantly. Such an imposing domain-type true treasure was simply not strong enough to restrain huge axe creator. Hurry! A palace flew toward them at high speed. It was merely a pinnacle true treasure, but what huge axe creator used to carve his way forward was a supreme true treasure godly axe. When coupled with his own power, which was very strong to begin with, how much faster could his speed get? He is closing in on us. Not good. Traveling at more than 10,000 times light speed, huge axe creator caught up in the blink of an eye. Hiding inside your palace? Then I shall seal it up. Huge axe creator stretched out his right hand, which suddenly expanded to a huge palm as extensive as 1,000,000 kilometers. Every finger on that huge palm had an axe head shadow encircling it, causing the surroundings to fall into a blanket of strange darkness. Let's split up. Hiding within the palace, there is no way we can put up any resistance. Even eternal true God cannot ward off his attacks. This pinnacle true treasure palace. Once caught, we will be stuck in here with no power to resist. Then, I fear, we will be thrown into his suppressing type palace and be subjected to his suppression. Blue Eye, you are not powerful enough. Not his match. Hurry and enter my palace. Coming. If the opponent had a suppressing type treasure and was someone much more powerful, it was simply pointless to withdraw into passive defense. That palace vanished into thin air. A man showered in purple light stood amidst the void space. He wore a suit of purple armor and was looking at huge axe creator. Angrily, he shouted, "Huge axe, we have already decided to escape. Why are you still giving chase so relentlessly? If it was just sixth true master before you, there is indeed the risk of annihilation. But my stars! Even if they are not as powerful as yours, they are in no danger of annihilation." Huge axe creator did not beat about the bush. Hand over the 3 pinnacle palace-type true treasures of this level, and all enmity between your Divine Eye clan and my human race will be put to an end. Otherwise, my axe technique will have one less competent opponent to train and hone itself against for further improvement. Third True Master's terrible expression was visible even though he was wearing his purple armor, and he kept quiet for a long while. All right then. Divine Eye clan shall pay you due respect and give you 3 true treasures, Third True Master decided. 1 pinnacle domain type true treasure, 1 pinnacle palace type true treasure, and 1 pinnacle soul illusion type true treasure. 3 streams of light flew toward huge axe creator. With arms outstretched, huge axe creator grabbed hold of the 3 true treasures and took a look before putting them away. Third True Master quickly transformed into light and departed at the fastest speed possible. From afar, there was brilliant gold devil god. Within the Cyan Stone Peak, there was sitting mountain guest and Luo Foam, all of whom were a little startled. The formidable Divine Eye clan always carried an imposing air of vigor. No one could have expected huge axe creator to be so powerful to the extent of forcing 2 true masters of the formidable Divine Eye clan to bow in submission and hand over 3 pinnacle superior true treasures. A childlike voice, crisp and clear, was transmitted from brilliant gold devil god. Congratulations, huge axe. Humans from the primal universe are indeed impressive. Teacher Origin was impressive. Huge axe, you are also very impressive. Ha ha. Now, with a supreme true treasure in hand, huge axe, you have become so powerful. Ha ha. Brilliant gold, please keep this news to yourself for now, huge axe creator said from afar. Do not spread the news. TSK. Divine Eye clan has suffered a great loss. If news is not leaked out, I'm afraid they will not proactively spread the news. I think they can't wait for the other groups of powers to also suffer the same loss. Huge axe, how cunning of you. All right, I will make sure that the news does not spread from me. Brilliant gold devil god laughed in his clear and crisp voice. Huge axe creator turned his head in another direction and said to another faraway figure, sitting mountain guest, please do not spread this news either. Of course not, sitting mountain guest transmitted his reply. Huge axe creator made small nods and then his figure blurred as he transformed into a huge axe and scraped through the sky with his speedy departure. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Brilliant gold devil got bad sitting mountain guest farewell and took his leave, too. Then the cyan stone peak also flew toward the exit of Deep Abyss. Within the Deep Abyss, the cyan stone peak was advancing at high speed. Teacher? Luo Feng was still running high on emotions, and also, he had many unresolved doubts. First, he poured sitting mountain guest some wine, then asked, huge axe creator of our human race is quite impressive. So impressive that he could kill other universe supreme masters? Ha ha, of course he can. Sitting mountain guest replied from where he was seated. With his wine glass in his hand, he smiled. Way back then, Teacher Origin dominated Universe Ocean. Throughout the 3 reincarnation eras and 2 Holy Land universes, no one dared provoke him. Upon seeing him from afar, the other Universe Supreme Masters would take off right away. From how you see it, if it was just him gaining the upper hand, would it be enough to make the other Universe Supreme beings behave like that? Realization dawned upon Luo Feng. Yes, if there was nothing life-threatening, Teacher Origin would not be so fearsome as to instill such fear in the other Universe Supreme beings. Huge Axe's power may still be a little lacking compared to Teacher Origin's power back then, but it is already very close. Sitting mountain guest sighed. Luo Feng continued persistently asking questions. Can Huge Axe Creator kill Third True Master? No, he can't, Sitting mountain guest answered directly. Third True Master has 2 supreme true treasures that he takes everywhere he goes. His ability is ranked 2nd out of the 7 True Masters. Huge Axe may be able to suppress and deal Third True Master with heavy blows, but he cannot kill him. 6th True Master, on the other hand, is weaker with only 1 soul attack type supreme true treasure. If he is confronted by Huge Axe, there is a possibility he might be killed. Since he cannot be killed, why would Third True Master how in submission? Luo Feng continued to ask. Ha ha, Sitting mountain guest laughed out loud. Of course he has to. Huge Axe has been hiding his true power and has yet to show an actual outburst. His normal power is already so potent that the outburst this time around will likely spark a series of outbursts as he starts to fight against other great beings. Previously, there wasn't any other great being of such a high level to fight against him to allow him to hone and steal himself, yet he was already this powerful. Once he starts to fight against other Universe Supreme Masters, his skills will definitely be pushed toward further improvement. He just needs to advance one more step. Then he will be another Teacher Origin. If that is the case, then now, Third True Master is right in bowing to submission earlier, so that he will not be putting himself at a disadvantage later. Another realization dawned upon Luo Feng. True. He had never executed that kind of axe technique before, yet he had achieved such a high level of cultivation. Once he started actual battles to hone this skill of his, the possibility of progression to the next level was high. If that is the case, why did he only ask for 3 pinnacle superior true treasures? Luo Feng was confused. This is nothing to the Divine Eye clan at all. Ha ha. How do you perceive the Divine Eye clan? Sitting mountain guest shook his head. That is a very powerful group from the 1st reincarnation era. Comparable to the 2 Holy Land universes. Even Third True Master was able to resist Huge Axe, albeit with much difficulty. If his opponent were 1st True Master, then even if Huge Axe improved his ability and power, the most he could achieve would be suppression of 1st True Master. Previously, when 1st True Master was in a confrontation with Teacher Origin, he was able to survive all of Teacher Origin's attacks. If the 7 True Masters all joined forces, that would be even more terrifying. Furthermore, the Divine Eye clan is nearing its doomsday. The 7 True Masters will surely feel an insane amount of pressure. If you really come to face a member of the Divine Eye clan, even the power of one will be intimidating enough. How is it possible for the human race to fight and win against the Divine Eye clan? I'm afraid other Universe Masters do not even dare to enter Universe Ocean anymore. This is a way of ending the bad blood once and for all. It is a way of gaining some benefits without making the Divine Eye clan feel the pinch. The Divine Eye clan does not dare to provoke Huge Axe. On the other hand, for the future of our human race, Huge Axe is unwilling to declare war on the Divine Eye clan. That explains why we have come to this stage. Luo Feng nodded slightly. True. Huge Axe of the human race was indeed impressive, but the other Universe Masters were weak. If there was war declared upon the human race for their own safety, they would be highly resistant when expected to enter Universe Ocean. And if they did not dare to enter Universe Ocean to roam and seek opportunities to hone their skills, it would become very difficult for the human race to cultivate the birth of a third Universe Supreme Master. Among the Universe Supreme Masters, the difference in ability can be so vast. Luo Feng sighed. Sitting Mountain Guest voiced his speculation. In fact, it is just Teacher Origin, who is a more perversely unique individual. From how I see it, Huge Axe likely received Teacher Origin's guidance, which is why he can be so strong. Otherwise, solely based on their own ability to comprehend, it would be quite impossible for both to be so formidable. Teacher Origin? Luo Feng nodded. Although Teacher Origin was eternally suppressed, he continued to maintain contact with the human race. However, he might be in contact with a handful of humans like Huge Axe and Primal Chaos City Leader. The Cyan Stone Peak entered the region that was crazily swallowing everything in the surroundings. Luo Feng had been sucked in here by that gravitational force which was so strong, even much stronger than Huge Axe's attacks. Now that he wanted to fly out from inside, he had to move in the opposite direction of that gravitational force. The Cyan Stone Peak was revolving, and it created many arcs as it moved. It gradually inched its way forward and out of the deep abyss by moving in a circular motion. To go out, you have to resist part of the gravitational force, but you also have to borrow part of it, Sitting Mountain Guest instructed. You have to tap the strength of gravity to get out. If not, even a Universe Supreme Master would not be able to get out. This is the only way out. It will be a slow journey. I'm afraid it will take at least a few months, so within these few months, I shall help you in completing the restoration of your crazy demon extermination godly armor. Thereafter, you can continue on your way. Do what you need to do. Yes, teacher, Luo Feng replied reverently. After leaving this place, his next destination would, of course, be the space of the black-striped stone pillars, where he could hone his willpower. Besides, he had gained 5 Chaos's black token, so it was all the more urgent that he should head there. The power of the black hole of the deep abyss was endless. The green mountain peak hovered in circles, then gradually advanced out. It was a bit like a sailboat borrowing the strength of reverse currents to propel itself forward in its intended direction, but billions of times more mysterious. After all, this gravitational force was much too strong even for a Universe Supreme Master. No one would dare openly put up a resistance. Teacher is restoring crazy demon extermination godly armor. Luo Feng stood at the apex of the mountain peak and looked down at the vast land below. And part of his consciousness is controlling this mountain peak. Loneliness. Luo Feng sat alone, feeling lonely as various thoughts came to his mind. Earlier, when he was watching the Huge Axe creators battle, all he could feel was the adrenaline rush as his excitement level got exceptionally high. Now that he had calmed down, he started to feel the distance between himself and a Universe Supreme Master. In the Primal Universe, a Universe Supreme Master is held down by extremely great suppression. In Universe Ocean, a Universe Supreme Master is still under a certain amount of suppression. If there is no suppression at all, the distance between Universe Masters and Universe Supreme Masters would be even greater. Luo Feng was aware that the suppression was completely over the top. In the Primal Universe, if there were no fights against the Universe Masters, then Universe Supreme Masters would also be able to ensure that their orders, once given, were strictly enforced. They would also be more powerful than anything else under the sun. Even the Universe Origin laws would have to show due respect to them. Yet the moment a fight happened with Universe Masters, everything would change. The Universe Origin laws no longer drew back. On the contrary, they would exert stronger suppression, therefore making it impossible for Universe Supreme Masters to ensure that their orders were strictly enforced. Universe Masters were able to control time and space with regards to controlling domains, but Universe Supreme Masters were in no way superior in this sense. Of course, the killing of Yuan Ao Master was carried out according to the wishes of the Universe Origin, which was why no Universe Supreme Master had to undergo any suppression. The force of godly power unleashed could be equivalent to the godly power of a Universe Master with a perfect life gene level. This was only a small aspect. There was also the limit on the strongest power, an upper limit restriction. This was an ultimate limit value laid down by the Universe Origin laws. The powers that Universe Supreme Masters released could not exceed this restriction. Once exceeded, they would have to undergo suppression, just like how Virtual Real Devil Master was previously bound by chains of the laws. The ability to ensure that their orders, once given, were strictly enforced, would disappear. The ability to release their godly powers would be restricted. Even the strongest outburst of capability had an upper limit to adhere to. And after killing a Universe Master, a Universe Supreme Master had to be severely punished. His godly body would be badly injured. There were so many forms of suppression against Universe Supreme Masters, which was why, in the Primal Universe, Universe Masters showed negligible fear for Universe Supreme Masters. Universe Masters who were slightly more powerful than their peers would show no fear of Universe Supreme Masters at all. Meanwhile, in Universe Ocean, things were not the same. In Universe Ocean, there were many miniature universes, as well as the Primal Universe, scattered all about. The Primal Universe was massive, so the willpower of the Primal Universe origin remained the strongest. Even laws revolving around the vast Universe Ocean would be under its influence. Other regions of the Universe Ocean were considered external, so the power that the Primal Universe origin could exert over them was much weaker. Thus, the limits were also much weaker. There were only two heavy restrictions. Firstly, when Universe Supreme Masters fought with Universe Masters, revolving laws no longer drew back. Universe Supreme Masters would not be able to be certain that their orders would be strictly enforced. Secondly, the strength of godly power would also be suppressed at the level of the perfect gene level of a Universe Master. There were only two restrictions. By relying on their true treasures and secret techniques to determine how much power they wanted to unleash was up to the Universe Supreme Masters to decide. There was no upper limit restriction at all. Upon killing a Universe Master, there would be no punishment either. Comparatively, the restrictions of Universe Ocean were less stringent and fewer than that of the Primal Universe, which was why, overall, Universe Supreme Masters were all fearful and wary of the Primal Universe origin. Luo Feng sat on the apex of the mountain peak, pondering the various relationships between Universe Supreme Masters, the willpower of the Primal Universe, himself, and many others. A voice was transmitted. Luo Feng. Teacher? Luo Feng turned back and saw sitting mountain guest. He immediately stood up. Teacher, aren't you restoring crazy demon extermination godly armor? I'm done restoring it, sitting mountain guest said with a wave. A suit of black armor flew toward Luo Feng right away. Luo Feng was shocked and looked at sitting mountain guest inquiringly. It, said Luo Feng. It has not even been 2 days. A mere restoration process. How much effort do you think I will need? Sitting mountain guest studied Luo Feng's expression. I saw you sitting over there, what's on your mind? I was thinking about the willpower of the Primal Universe origin. Luo Feng replied. Universe Supreme Masters. Universe Masters, and me. Sitting mountain guest was taken aback upon hearing Luo Feng's reply. He remained silent. After a long moment of silence, sitting mountain guest sighed. His voice was filled with complex emotions as he continued. Primal Universe origin. For one who has not become a Universe Supreme Master, you will still be a child of the Primal Universe. It will take care of you. Once you become a Universe Supreme Master, the miniature universe starts to break away from the Primal Universe to survive in Universe Ocean. That Universe Supreme Master will then become a public enemy that everyone started to target. Suppression, always have been suppressed, sitting mountain guest lamented. Reincarnation. During every reincarnation era, there will be the process of the Primal Universe being impregnated, giving birth, then destroying every single living being. Teacher origin of the human race is indeed impressive. He could actually what? Asked Luo Feng, unable to contain his curiosity. Sitting mountain guest shook his head. Stop asking. I thought you were able to enter the virtual universe anytime you wanted. If you are strong enough to get the attention of Teacher Origin, you will be able to converse with him formally. Then perhaps, he may tell you why he did whatever he did back then. I was also making some guesses here, which may not be accurate. Luo Feng was eager for information. Teacher Origin had dared to challenge the Primal Universe origin back then. If he had actually dared to, there must have been a goal he wanted to achieve. A goal that might be over the top. But even Primal Chaos City leader Teacher had not mentioned this to him. Why would Teacher Origin defy the Primal Universe origin? Sitting mountain guest laughed and looked at Luo Feng. Don't think too much. It is too far out of your reach. You should think more for yourself. That will be more than enough. When you become a Universe Master, with Star Tower, you can ignore the difference in level between you and a Universe Supreme Master. Luo Feng shook his head. Even if I become a Universe Master, in terms of secret techniques, I am still very far away from the level of a Universe Supreme Master. He had seen Virtual Real Devil Master and Teacher Origin fight, but that had been in the primal universe, so the force wasn't that strong. But this time, the exchange of blows between Third True Master, Sixth True Master, and Huge Axe Creator really showed him how huge a difference in level he was from Universe Supreme Masters. You are wrong. Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head. Luo Feng looked at teacher. Universe Masters cannot create such powerful secret techniques, but the secret engravings on Star Tower represent a level of secret technique that is extremely high. Sitting Mountain Guest laughed. This is the precious part of a supreme true treasure. For instance, the first form of Star Tower, back when you have merely activated the first form, unleashing the power of Star Tower was insignificant. But when you activated the second form, that second level of secret engravings was a standard that miraculously matched the strongest secret technique of a Universe Master. You may not be able to create, but when merely activating, the difficulty level is reduced. The third level of secret engravings is comparable to the means of a Universe Supreme Master. The fourth level of secret engravings is a grade of secret technique that only a top-notch being among all the Universe Supreme Masters could create. Luo Feng nodded repeatedly. Right. Merely activating the secret engravings, compared to secret techniques of the same power, was certainly less demanding. Yet the power was, surprisingly, just as strong. Or, with a supreme true treasure as a medium, the power unleashed might be even stronger and more forceful. In Universe Ocean, there is a strength determination method, Sitting Mountain Guest said. Beginner-level Universe Masters' life genes can only multiply in the hundreds, so they may not be able to create secret techniques. This is the first level of Universe Masters. Ordinary-level Universe Masters' life genes multiply in the thousands. They can create ultimate secret techniques. This is the second level. Above these, there are the third level, the fourth level, and, like Star River Master from the Primal Universe, your teacher Primal Chaos City Leader, and the 5 Chaos Master, who you dragged to his death, the fifth level. A Universe Master who owns a supreme true treasure will be on the sixth level. That is also the highest level that a Universe Master can reach, Sitting Mountain Guest said amidst laughter. Why would owning a supreme true treasure make one a grade higher than Primal Chaos City Leader and 5 Chaos Master? That's because the secret engravings of a supreme true treasure represented a higher level of capability. Luo Feng listened intently. The 6 levels of categorizing Universe Masters. This was the first time he'd heard of them. A Universe Master at the 6th level is comparable to a Universe Supreme Master without a supreme true treasure, Sitting Mountain Guest said with a laugh. Of course, for someone like Huge Axe Creator, even without a supreme true treasure, he can still be stronger than any 6th level Universe Master. But I suspect that the 15th axe Huge Axe executed, the one that he said he had just created, my guess is that when he got that godly axe and observed the secret engravings etched on it. After comprehension, the activated secret engravings on that godly axe were the ones that unleashed that extremely powerful axe. Getting out of the deep abyss took close to 3 months' time. Sitting Mountain Guest also provided Luo Feng with guidance, especially on how to carefully comprehend Crazy Demon Extermination godly armor. Luo Feng then realized that 5 Chaos Masters 5 Beasts Great Extermination was actually a move adapted from the 3rd level secret engravings of Crazy Demon Extermination godly armor. It's like how the simple yet intelligent locals are able to learn how to use stones and rods as weapons, said Sitting Mountain Guest. The difference in intelligence is, therefore, dependent on how one knows how to utilize weapons. Universe Masters, Universe Supreme Masters. Their weapons are true treasures. Learning how to use these treasures to the extent of creating secret techniques, based on the secret engravings of the true treasures, is how some renowned figures become widely known across the universe. They all have treasures that identify them. Like you, although you named yourself Milky Way Horde Leader, the outside world calls you Silver Wings Horde Leader. Luo Feng was aware of that as well. He started to comprehend the secret engravings on Star Tower, Crazy Demon Extermination Godly Armor, and Shawu Wings. Then he tried to create a suitable ultimate technique. As for his body was sustained by his godly power in that secret, hidden space, it was comprehending the diagram of secret engravings of the ultimate lost knowledge left behind by the ancient existence that was more powerful than Teacher Origin and Huge Axe Creator. And also, comprehending the 6 major diagrams of secret engravings that Sitting Mountain Guest had left behind. All the diagrams were mutually supportive of one another, enabling Luo Feng's rate of progress to set sail on an accelerated track. He was able to comprehend all the other types like the defense-type secret engravings on Crazy Demon Extermination Godly Armor at an alarming rate. For the triple levels of attack-type secret engravings on the Golden Right Arm, he was able to comprehend 2 levels speedily. He vaguely understood a great part of the third level, but it took him more time, comparatively, to finally understand it. The triple levels of secret engravings on Crazy Demon Extermination Godly Armor's golden right arm is nothing compared to those of Star Tower, yet they are still able to match the power of a strongest ultimate technique created by a universe master. Once you are able to drive this, I think your achievement in the studies of diagrams of secret engravings will more or less reach the level of a universe master. All right, we are now out of the deep abyss. I will leave from here, and don't ever let such a thing happen again. Luo Feng bowed and replied with much gratitude, "Yes, teacher." Thereafter, from within the endless frozen lake fire, a green mountain peak and a crimson palace, Star Tower had transformed its look with the use of Blood Cloud Pearl, departed and flew off in two different directions. This video will end here.